speaking to my absolute soul. I can't even, Anita. No, I brought this cloth because I knew I would tear up. You know, I'm a 42-year-old woman. What is happening to me? What is happening, Anita Ndero?
If there is one thing about Nikita Kering's music, is it just touches you just so far deep. Like it's one of those things, like it's what we were discussing earlier about just transcending, be it age, borders, just your feelings. Like you feel the song. It's beautiful. Her vocals are incredible. The lyrics are incredible. I am a very, very big fan, and it just thank you for having me today to allow me to have my fangirl moment. If you're watching us live on KTN News or streaming live from standardmedia.co.ke, we have the incredible songstress Nikita Kering in studio on Double O Direct at SpiceFM.
Nikita, welcome to Double O Direct.
Thank you.
You're looking at me thinking, really? But yes, really. This is how we feel. And I remember when Anita was on the show
I hope
the
we
last
don't creep
time,
you out. She's like,
she
these
said,
two ladies are just a lot.
kidnapped. She'd never heard from again.
No.
She was like, we have to go together. And then I was like, who should we have as a guest? Mm-hmm. And Anita Ndero goes, Nikita Kering.
Yeah.
And I said, Anita, if you make that happen,
Yeah.
the only thing that's not up for grabs is my firstborn.
Yeah.
I mean, currently I'm not taking any more children in, but I made it happen, and I'm very excited about it. I'm very grateful. I bumped into Nikita Kering at an event we were both attending, and I was like, this is my chance. I got one chance, one opportunity, and Eminem was playing in the background, and so then I went and I spoke to her, and you were absolutely incredible, and you were very sweet, and she was just like, yeah, sure, let's exchange numbers, and I was like, I'm getting Nikita Kering's number on my phone right now. The value of my phone just went up several notches.
One thing you said recently is that you're tired of people asking you stupid questions when they interview you.
Oh my God, that's a very strong word.
Not stupid questions. But what I want to find out
Redundant
is
questions.
What I want to find out is which is the worst.
The one I'm tired.
You're like, yeah, please don't ask me that, Olivia. That one.
When did you start singing? That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
So we're gonna
To
go.
be fair,
Yeah.
and this is in defense of everybody, including myself, who was about to ask that question. Is you when I speak to you and you say, I did this at the age of 15, and then I did this at the age of 16. Somebody researches on you, and they're like, you're just still 20 years old, but you've
Yeah.
achieved so much. It really must beg the question: when did you start? Because how you've I mean, usually we'll be like, I'm 32. I've been doing this for such a long time. If somebody does ask me when did I start, I'm like, that's gonna be
Archive.
That's gonna be archive, like stories from like back in the day. But you're still so young.
Yeah.
So then it that's the reason why someone's just like, so how much younger were you when?
Okay.
But you don't have to answer it. It's
No,
fine.
I'm gonna answer
Sure,
just for
tell me.
Anita today.
Thank
Only
you.
for Anita. And I was just saying, this is my first interview in Kenya for the year. Imagine.
What?
Yes, it is.
Well, okay. Apart from me loving you,
Yeah.
I'm feeling very honored right now, by the way.
yeah, tell us why.
Was it the question?
No. Whoa. Maybe I should have done more interviews so that I'm more quick on my feet. But
You don't need to be. We got time. We got time.
no, I think for me, it's like I don't want it to be fake anymore. It's like I did so many interviews growing up in the industry so I started doing interviews and shows when I was like 9, 10. So it's been 10 years of answering the same questions and trying to find a nicer way to say it just so that a new audience can I guess consume it in a new fresh way. And I think I just got to the point where I'm just like, I'm a bit tired. I'm a bit tired of faking it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, let me go to my creative space. Let me just write music so that at least the next time I'm having an interview, I'm answering questions about the new me or something fresh.
And that's what I want to find out because you're a young woman, but your lyrics and your sound is so grown. I listened to your music for the first time about 2 months ago, and I was just like, what? And I had it on repeat. And I said, Apple Music, if you don't have all these songs, tutakosana, right? But I have it on repeat. And even when I listen to the lyrics and the depth, even the melody, I'm thinking, where do you draw that from?
I'm not gonna lie and just say I guess I have one thing or one place that I go to get this. I'll just say everyone has their talent, and I think this is mine.
It so is.
Because if you told me to write about this microphone, I will be able to write about the microphone. And I can tell you, I haven't been a music writer for so long. The first time I wrote a song, I was 16 years old. So that means I've only been a songwriter for 4 years. But, the strides I have made in songwriting, I guess for me, are crazy. And I wish to work harder than I do. But I'm able to see that, I won't say it comes naturally. I just say I don't have a hard time with it. And so I'm not going to lie to anybody and say you can just become a songwriter tomorrow. I can say I do have the advantage of it being a talent. Yeah. Wow. And I'm not the best dancer. I'm not the best anything, but I can tell with songwriting it's a bit effortless.
TikTok begs to differ.
But I will say I had to try. I had to force myself to wake up and make a damn TikTok because that's not my thing. It's not. I don't enjoy it. Like it's not. It doesn't come naturally to me.
What was the song that you were grooving to on TikTok?
Because I don't even remember.
I'm trying to remember as well because she was in a black outfit, but you were on stage in that one.
I was on stage. Oh yeah. Oh, that one. That one. It was a guy called Brian Kinyua. He is a photographer and I guess a videographer who just caught a moment of one of my concerts. So that was me dancing to X. On stage, and that was the first performance of X. And I can tell you, like, until today, it's like I'm gonna have to work so hard so that I can keep having that moment because, man, I don't know if performers have expressed the fact that going on stage and hearing thousands of people singing your song is not normal. Like it's mind-blowing, and I feel like I will do everything to get that moment again. It's a high. It's just something else.
I can't promise you thousands of people, but Celine from Ghetto Classics is a huge fan, as is Nancy. But Celine, since you mentioned X, has actually done a clarinet version of it. Celine, are you ready to bust it out? We're going to try it out just for Nikita Kering right now. Can we play some X for... Let's just hear it out. Wow. Like, look, I mean, come on. Good job.
Love it.
It's very hard to play a clarinet as well.
It is.
I tried before.
What instruments do you play?
I play the piano. I used to play bass, but I just play piano now.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of things you're terrible at, because of course you're used to people asking you all the great things, right? So the things, because there have been challenges, obviously. The road is filled with potholes at times, right? When you're talking about overcoming a specific challenge, give young women and women in general examples of some of those challenges and what happened for you to overcome them.
I'd say as much as we do live in a terribly unfair world, I'll say I've kind of tackled it in a different way, in which like I've just had to accept the fact that in this day and in my age right now, I'm not able to get equal opportunities as I guess my fellow men out there. I'm not bitter about it. I just have to be smarter and I have to work much harder. So one of the challenges I will tell you is the scarcity of women in the industry. There's no women. There's no women. In the music industry, I've never seen a female producer, for instance, doing, really well here in Kenya. I haven't seen that at all. I rarely ever see, women in the music industry lasting for ages. You see how, like, I don't know, Beyonce, or let me say Whitney, before she passed, was able to have like a very long career.
Yes.
Here it's like people's careers are drying out so fast, and women seem to be getting the most of that. So it's just that, like, I don't know who to look up to, as a woman. It's being in a space where I'm doing a lot of guesswork, and you kind of have to realize in this industry that more often than not, people are helping you for their own sake. They're not helping you because they love you, or they're not helping you because they just really want to make it, just like everybody wants to make it. And unfortunately, with men, it's easier to achieve that. We as musicians work throughout the night, throughout the day. But the challenges we face is not feeling safe in the spaces that we work in. And I don't want to delve too much into that, but it can be a bit tricky. Yeah.
Where's your support? Because it is, like you said, very few people for you to look up to. I have a challenge just playing music by women. Every now and then there'll be collabos. You'll hear male voices because there are just not that many artists, especially from the time period that we play, that we can hire. And that's why I loved, the fact that you're Kenyan. You have that sound that I can incorporate into my show. But where is your support? Who keeps you up? Who props you up and gives you strength to continue?
I think my family has played a huge role in that. I will also say that making it as a woman in this industry is highly influenced by the people around you, because it's not easy. Whether you're a girl or a boy, it's not easy. It's expensive. It's crazy, man. So my family has really been that support, where I know, okay, even if it doesn't work now, they're with me until it works. And not many people have access to that, especially in African homes whereby the arts aren't taken as seriously. You'll find that your family members will support you, but they'll support you from a distance, so that when in case it fails, tulikuambia, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm just happy that my mom has been with me throughout the whole journey. My dad has also been there. And I think I've been able to choose people within the music industry who really do believe in me and are ready to invest even in the times when we are down. Yeah.
You have 2 EPs out so far, and I'm just curious, how much work goes into putting together an EP? How long does that take? You managed to do them back to back in terms of years.
Yeah.
But what was the process behind that?
An EP. I like bodies of work. I feel like it's easier because it doesn't dry out. Like, a single will come. After 3 months, it's no longer part of the charts. You have to now start thinking of the next thing.
And that's why I refuse to believe that you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
Because when you say things like, I like bodies of work, I think you're just a really old woman in a very young body. Because
I think so too sometimes. Yeah, I think creating a body of work allows you, it allows someone to have a much longer experience of what's going on inside Nikita Kering. And then I'm also able to tell my stories, my personal stories in poetry that is pages and pages long. And so there's so much to unravel. And I think that's so much fun. In terms of how long it takes, for me, I have so many unreleased songs. I have so many unreleased, I can't even count it. The challenge of putting an EP together isn't the work. It is the emotion and what you're trying to tell. Sometimes that can be complicated, because you're like, I really like this song, it's super fun, but then I also like this song, it's super sad. So how do I make them fit in one body of work? How do I tell a story? Because I feel like I go crazy, because I don't have to be feeling sad to write a sad song, and I don't have to be happy to write a happy song. it's just a whole bunch of stuff that I can just do at the same time. So the challenge usually is making the work flow. And I still think with this last project, I could do so much better with the next one. But I just love that there is progress. Yeah.
I love that you've said you don't have to be sad to write a sad song or happy to write a happy song. So at least you won't be put into the category of, you know how we always want Mary J. Blige to be heartbroken because we know we're gonna get an epic
yeah.
album.
No, that's Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift also. Whenever she's sad, we get the most epic album.
Yeah.
So at least we know. We wish you well because whichever way it goes,
Yeah.
we know we're gonna get a great album out of it. So please, that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, and I agree with you about. I feel like you're an old soul because when somebody listens to your albums, the stories you tell are not that of a 20-year-old. You know what I mean? It's like I'm like, how did you experience all this or go through all this? But it's beautiful because to you it's poetry and it's
For me, it's what I call life. You touched my soul.
Yeah.
I wanted to find out with regards to your parents, you've talked about your mother, you've talked about your father. How much involvement do they have, if any, in your creative process, maybe as a sounding board, etc., or are they just the money?
Oh man, they're not even the money. I'm the money.
oh, your mother's like, oh, okay, all right, cool. She'll be waiting for you when you get home.
Yes, they're different kind of support. They're the I consult them for a lot of the stuff that I do in business and money management, and yes, that's mainly what they're there for. They are not in the creative process whatsoever. Jeez, there's no one who can do that in that house. Maybe my brother, but that's about it. Everyone else is living their own lives.
Who would you like as a mentor? Who would you like with regards to, we're looking about continent-wide or even globally. Let's start maybe with Kenya, then let's go continent-wide, and then let's go international out of that. Who would you be like, I would love to
Be mentored by.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good question. Crazy enough, if he wasn't that crazy, I'd say Don Jazzy. Yeah. I think that man really knows what the hell he's doing, and I've watched his progress over a really long time. So Don Jazzy is.
Have you been in touch?
No, I haven't. I'd love to. Man.
Warum? Warum nicht?
Because.
Oh, did you just throw in some German?
Yeah,
I was
she
telling
said,
her, you
why
know how to
not?
speak German.
Litmus test.
What? Yeah, well, I haven't been able to get to him because he is quite the big man. So we're trying.
I'ma
to
do
see how
that
to
for
get
you.
there. Really?
I do not have much. But as God is my witness, and Celine and Nancy and Nikita and Anita, I love that Nikita and
You do
Anita.
this, plus she gets the Grammy. Oh, I'll just be a happy child.
No.
on the
Yeah,
side.
get me in touch with Don Jazzy.
I'm going to
please.
get you in touch with Don
Yeah,
Jazzy.
yeah,
If
please
I could
find
get
Don Jazzy.
Tina Savage here, I'm going to get you Don Jazzy.
Even Tiwa is quite a beast. Yeah, I think for a woman, Tiwa would be dope as well. Yeah.
There's an artist you mentioned at the event that you would love to collab with.
Oh, I have no idea. I can't remember.
Neither can I. That's why I was hoping you would. This is not. This is,
How much were you guys slipping on something?
Nah, I
what
mean,
event was that?
it was a good end of your party.
No, but as you're thinking about that, as a 20-year-old, are you studying? Are you in college?
No.
Is
I'm
that
not
something
in
you want to
college right
pursue?
now.
Or
Yeah, eventually I do when I can pay my own fees. But it's just about the timing right now. It's the timing isn't right. We need to invest a lot of time in what I'm doing.
Berkeley haven't thrown a scholarship at you?
I mean, Berkeley can throw the scholarship, but Berkeley isn't the answer to success.
No.
It's what I use Berkeley for that can help me get that. Yes, and I did I got a scholarship when I applied to Berkeley. Yeah.
No, because you started off with the money.
Yeah,
So I was just like,
yeah. I mean, there's
tell the
more. There's
truth.
more.
Tell
There's
the
more to
truth.
college than fees.
Yeah, so like, tell the truth.
Yeah, I just need the money to I want to live abroad for a bit, and I can't pay for that right now. So hopefully, when I can, I will. But I think it's just I'm looking for space out there, so that people out there can see my journey as well. You know, people love to identify with someone's journey. So, yeah, I found a home in the UK, and they have been amazing. The BBC space, or what can I call it? I don't know. They're just very diverse, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've loved it the last few times I've been there, and I just think the challenge right now is just trying to figure out how can we get to the other side of the world, because we've had so many artists here in Kenya getting to, you're almost there. You're just almost breaking into the international space. But I don't believe there's anyone that I've seen as a musician who's completely now, taken over in that space. Just as if, like, the way, let's say Lupita Nyong'o has done so in her art and Kipchoge in his art. So I'm hoping that I can be that musician who does that for Kenya.
No, it'll be you. They're just waiting for you. It'll be you. No. I'm 100% convinced it'll be you, because I heard the first track I heard, and I think it was Anya, and I was like, Jesus, we have it. Lupita's prayers have been answered. Like, my first interview of the year was Lupita Nyong'o, and I was thinking, this is great for cinema, but we need this for music.
Yeah.
And then just
No.
Jesus heard me.
Your sound definitely transcends borders in a way where it's just it's incredible. Someone doesn't even have to think about who did the song or where the song came from. It's just the music speaks for itself, and I want that for you, sis. Like,
Thank you.
I really do see you being the person who transcends the borders and just breaks out and just puts Kenya on the map the way all the other incredible artists in their fields are doing for us.
Thanks to Olivia Oteno and Don Jazzy. You see, we're already crafting that Grammy speech.
yeah.
Yeah, we're crafting it. We're just we're
you
fine-tuning
be
it.
there and give me Don Jazzy.
I am nice. I know what to do for the next 3 weeks I'm off. This is my last show. I'm back on the 7th, so I'm going to be like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Awesome.
So do you manage your own social media?
Partially.
Partially?
Yeah, partially. Yeah.
Do you go through it?
It depends. What do you mean go through it? Like comments and stuff?
Because I don't engage much on social,
Yeah.
Especially on Twitter. But there was one time, like, I know I'm wearing a sleeveless dress, but I was rolling up sleeves. Yeah, someone was trying to say something negative about you, and I was rolling up my sleeves thinking, you are not going after Nikita.
Yeah.
Because now I am going to be, as a sole person, KOT.
Yeah.
Right? Say whatever you want about me, my show, whatever, but don't touch Nikita. So my question to you is, how much do you engage? How much do you ingest social?
I'd say I try my best not to. I try my best not to at all. It reached a point I had to like unfollow everybody and just kind of refresh the content that appears on my socials, because I also realized that there's a lot of pressure that comes from certain I don't know how to say it in an uncontroversial way.
Be controversial.
Say it. Say it.
Hell
Safe
no.
space.
I'm not about to be on BNN or something. Well, there's a lot of pressure to fit a certain mold here in Kenya.
Break it.
Yeah.
Just break it.
I think there's a lot of pressure when it comes, especially for a lot of women out here. And, sometimes you're scrolling on social media and you realize that without anyone doing it to you, you're kind of...
Doing it to yourself.
You're doing it to yourself. You're comparing your achievements to other people's achievements. You're kind of like, oh, they look like that, or they're doing that. Why aren't I like that? So, yeah.
They just got this endorsement. They just got this sponsorship.
So you're like, oh my God, am I sleeping too much? Like, am I this and this and this? And sometimes it can be negative. I started learning this thing this year. I don't know if someone else said it or if it's something I thought of myself. It's called healthy jealousy. It's positive jealousy, whereby you see someone achieving something and you're like, oh wow, I would love that, but I still love it for you. I love it for you, but I would love
But
that.
that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So that way we keep learning from each other.
Yeah.
It's not, why did she get that? She doesn't deserve it. Like, who are you to say what that person deserves?
True.
Yeah. So,
That hits me.
hit us up with some clarinet. Hit us up with some clarinet. tell me the inspiration behind you writing that song.
There was no inspiration at that time. I just tried to imagine a toxic situation between. I guess people are always saying they left someone, but they're still there, all right, like still hanging on to your past,
Lingering.
yeah, it's like you're trying to convince yourself that you've left, but you've not really left, because I guess the song says even when we try to throw this all behind, I find myself inside of your arms again. Yeah.
I love how for you it's theory, for us it's so practical.
You know, in my head, I'm like, yeah, you know, that's what I was saying. If somebody listens to your songs, and then and you're like, oh yeah, no, I just wrote that because it's talent. It came to me, and I'm like, I can't explain to you how hard I relate to those lyrics.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about, and now it's interesting. It's interesting to hear you say that, but then also it's one of the things that I do love about your music is even when like I'm in a happy space, I will still listen to X and enjoy it just as much as I did when I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like one of those things where one morning you'll wake up and you're just like, I kind of want to have a Nikita morning today.
Yeah.
And like my husband finds me listening to X over and over again. It's even awkward in the house. He's like, what is going on here? Is there something you're going through? I'm like, no, I just really happen to like this song.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. Your music is just it's phenomenal.
Thank
and
you.
the vocals, I will emphasize this throughout this interview. Your range is just oh, all I want for Christmas, Lord. Yes, please.
You got a
I wanna
scholarship
sing.
to Brookhouse,
Yeah.
a music scholarship,
A part scholarship.
part scholarship.
Yeah.
What was the application process like?
Do I remember? Oh wow, it was a while back. I remember I went to a what is it called? Like a music festival?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of a music festival thing, and we were at Brookhouse, and then we kind of had to volunteer from the school I was in before I was at Brookhouse. I had to go and volunteer to sing at the front. So I think I sang at the front, and then these guys were like, "Oh, you should definitely apply to the school." And I also didn't know that the deputy head at that time was a really big fan of mine. So when I went,
They were a
outside-
fan of yours
Yeah,
before you
yeah.
joined the school?
Yeah.
But you joined it from year one of high school?
What?
At what point did you join Brookhouse?
After year 10.
Okay.
No, was it after? Oh, yeah, it was in year 10.
Okay,
in
okay.
year 10. So they were a fan of mine before I joined the school. So when I went and applied, they were like, "Oh yeah, we do love your work. Just give us a bit. Let's figure out what we're gonna do about this," because they leaned on giving scholarships to STEM students. STEM is like the science and technology and mathematics and all that. So I didn't have a very big chance of getting a big scholarship, but I did get a good scholarship, part scholarship. So yeah, that's it.
That policy changed.
What?
They were like, we're not just going to have STEM anymore.
Yeah.
We're also going to incorporate a lot of arts.
I mean, now that I look back, I'm like, why did y'all it was such a hard time getting it as well, because it's not the whole school that believed in me. It's like part of the board was like, no, and then the other board was like, yeah, that would be awesome. So now I'm just looking back and I'm just like, yo.
So then what did the program entail if they had a program specifically for STEM and music wasn't necessarily...
It was scholarships.
No, it wasn't a program for STEM.
Okay.
It was like they would take students that are like
Good.
STEM students. STEM students are the students who are good at like science and maths. And for me, I wasn't bad at it. That's just what... I didn't have scholarship-worthy grades for STEM. But I had crazy grades for, the the arts and English and stuff. So they kind of had to change the culture a bit. But I'm sure they don't regret it.
Yeah, no, but there's
I
not
wish
going to
they
be an
could do better,
acceptance
though.
I don't
speech.
think they do.
I wish they could still do better. I think Brookhouse can do better at supporting arts students. Yeah.
Do you feel like you developed some extra talent there? Do you feel that you learned with regards to music
I
and your
learned
craft?
so much in Brookhouse. Oh my God. That's why I'm saying they should do better, because their facilities could be life-changing to people who deserve it. If they can find musicians that have international level
Potential, yeah.
yeah, they could change people's lives. I believe it. And when I was there, I got to be, and I took it for granted. Even when I was there, I wish I spent more time in the studio. I wish I spent more time.
They have an
stage.
on-campus studio.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
they
what we
do.
were going. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I spent more time in the studio. I wish I spent more time in the auditorium, and their facilities are just amazing. So I learned so much, and I still think there is space for so many other talents to go there and learn. So, yeah.
Is this where you were tutored by Eric Wainaina?
Yes, Eric Wainaina and Ian Bugwa.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, they
Tell
were
me
my
about
teachers.
your current technical team. Who you
Yeah.
work with on the production side, on your music videos as well.
Yeah. I'm not one to, I guess, stay with one person when it comes to video production, just because I think so many people have so many different ways of telling their stories, and I don't ever want one music video to look like the other music video, just because I feel like I also need to be challenged in that area because I don't know too much about it. So I don't want someone who's gonna keep me on one culture. So yeah, I work with So Fresh for my music production. A guy called So Fresh. I've worked with him as a producer and sound engineer in the past. And then I also worked with a guy called Rodney Rodman for the video for Onya. And I also worked with him on the video for X with someone called Hadi Wambiakale. And then I worked with, I currently managed by Nelly McKenna, and I work with Universal South Africa for my distribution and license marketing. I also work with...
So it's diverse.
Yeah,
They've
it's
got
very,
quite a
very
lot.
diverse. Yeah, I can't even remember everything.
Highlights
Teamwork makes the dream
2022. Like
Yeah.
the points were like, you are not going to believe what happened. I want to hear those in your, let's say, 2021, 2022.
For me, my highlight of this year was a guy called Young Philly liking my post. That was the biggest highlight, I swear. He's a YouTuber. I'm like the biggest fan of his.
Yes.
Died to meet him, and the day before he liked my photo, I was talking about him the whole day. So it was kind of like it
To whom?
manifested. To who was I talking? Like one of my friends.
Yeah.
Just one of my friends. I was like, oh my God, if I got to meet Young Philly, I'd die and everything. Then the next day he likes my photos. I don't know if there's some technological people out there listening to my conversations with people. I don't know.
Google's
but
always
like
listening.
I don't know. I feel like they're always listening or something.
So I started noticing that as well, where there's things you'll talk about, and then all of a sudden your search area,
Yeah.
The ads.
like your discover area, just becomes geared towards.
Oh
and
my
you're just
God,
like,
it's very
this is
creepy. It's very creepy. But I mean,
Young
I
Philly.
love Jay-Z. I love Beyonce. So hopefully Beyonce is gonna like my photo.
Because let me just be honest. There's Lupita Nyong'o, there's Elsa Majimbo, there's Nikita Kering. Yeah, that's where you're headed. That's without a shadow of a doubt. That is where you're headed. And I want, come on, it's not even a thing. But moving.
Just remember during the acceptance speech.
Oh,
That's the only catch.
okay.
So we're trying to figure out some of the other highlights you had for the year, because
Yeah.
I've seen you like in Times Square. I've seen you at Spotify. I saw you on BBC. You'll tell us how that came about, by the
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
that BBC journey. So can we
Yeah.
start with that? How did you end up being on BBC One Extra?
Yeah. So around July, I was going for my brother's graduation. He was studying at Uni of Manchester. So he graduated from there. So I went, and when we were going, a guy called Eddie Kadi, he is just the most amazing person ever. He works in BBC One Extra, and we met during the Afrima 2019. And he said, oh, he loved me. So I DM'd him and I told him, hey, when I come, I want you to host me for BBC One Extra. And I didn't know I was ever going to go to the UK. Like, this was around January.
Yes.
I didn't know if I was going to go for my brother's graduation.
Yes.
Then he was like, just let me know when it's 2 weeks to you coming.
Yes.
And I was just sitting and I'm like, he probably doesn't mean it. Like, he wouldn't do
Lip
anything
service.
about it. Yeah, he probably doesn't even remember who I am or whatever. Then I texted him 2 weeks to it and I was like, hey, I'm going to be around on this date. And he said, come through. And he got me passes, me and my friend Sarah Ikumu, who lives in the UK. And we literally walked. We walked into the BBC building and I got an opportunity to to have an interview with him on BBC One Extra and have my music played on there, which was a really big deal for me at that time. So they kind of kept my contacts and everything. I went on with my life, released my EP, because it was just right before I was supposed to. It was actually the same week I released the first single of my EP, which was Last Name. So later on, I got the Spotify Equal deal, and they told me, hey, you're going to be the Spotify Equal ambassador for the month. And I was like, oh, wow, that's such a big deal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then when I was going through the deliverables and from both our ends, what they do and what we do in the, I forget what it's called, just some sheet that they give you. And then I'm like, it says Times Square Billboard. So I was like, wait. I wasn't sure I saw the right thing. So I just, I took some time off it and I was like, there's no way it can be. So I called my manager and like, did you see that it said Times Square? And then they were like, yeah, that was one of the perks. And I remember before, like a month before that opportunity, Spotify they texted me or something and they were like, hi, just send us something for this and this. And I was like, oh my God, more
demands.
More demands and more demands. Because I'm not a big fan of like doing all these, what do they call, drops and whatnot. So I was like, I have to go wear makeup, go dress up. I don't like that process at all. Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me just do it. So it was because of that they actually they were like, let's do it this month. I think she's going to be excellent. So yeah, that happened.
What is a Spotify Equal ambassador? Let's just take one step back.
Well, the Equal platform is just something that I guess is in support of equality in the industry. Let me say equity in the industry. And they just need a woman every month to be able to tell their side of the story and their hopes within the industry and what they're doing to change it. How are you supporting equity within the music business as an individual?
Yes.
So it was just that, me telling my story, and I guess they got inspired by me before and they were like, yes, let's have this person on there. So yeah, that's it. So I got the billboard. I didn't even know it was up. And my sister was in New York at that time. I would have sent her to go and look at it, but I didn't know. Then they told me the next day that it was there, and I was like, what? You didn't tell me when it was there. I was so annoyed. I didn't know.
Do you know how many posts I scrolled because I was looking for the one with you in front of your billboard?
Yeah.
Now you tell me that there was actually no you.
No.
At Times Square in front of your own billboard.
No, imagine I couldn't. They didn't tell me on time, and plus also everything happened within such a short time. I couldn't even get a visa to travel. And I was actually in the UK when the billboard was up. I was recording the BBC performance, and I couldn't tell anyone about it, so we just had to keep quiet. So that happened. That was a highlight. I'm just so happy that it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing, and I also know for sure that that's opened doors for people here, and just to know that they can get a billboard on Times Square. And it's not I'm telling you, this is just like one step on that ladder. We have so much more that we can achieve and I can achieve, and I'm just trying to strategize and see how best to work around that. Also, the reason, by the way, I wasn't doing interviews is because I just need to figure out why am I doing an interview? You know, what's the reason? Is it just to get my face out there as much as possible? I'm like, just because everyone is doing interviews doesn't mean I need to do it. I need to really know the reason why we're out there. So the reason I did this interview is, one, because I think it's in line with my beliefs and I guess the whole equal program thing. And I also thought, I want to be in a platform where I can say whatever I want to say. And being that I don't really like to talk, I don't like to talk a lot on my social media and share my life, I thought this would be like a nice, good space to just openly chat. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I used to be so much. I'm so sorry, but I used to be so much more energetic and fun than this. I'm so serious. Everyone says I'm so serious nowadays, but it's like, I just want to say what I want to say.
I do feel like you're my more mature, level-headed sister in this scenario.
Yeah. Also, there's times I have a lot of fun. It's just I don't put it out there. So,
but you have a lot going on.
Yeah,
I
do.
and speaking of a lot going on, as we get into the new year, what can we look forward to with regards to Nikita Kering?
Man, I wish I knew
I love that honesty.
I got this and I got this. I wish I knew.
I wish I knew, man.
There's that trip to
I'm,
Don Jazzy.
I'm just, yeah, for sure. I want to meet Don Jazzy. I want to manifest meeting Don Jazzy. That has to happen.
Is that collabo with Tiwa Savage?
Maybe not a collabo, but I would love to meet her. I would
She's
love to meet her
ready.
and learn so much from her.
Are there any female the what you said earlier about female producers being very scarce? Are there any that you do know of that you would want to work with?
Yeah, there's actually someone I'm speaking to right now, and it's very embarrassing that I've just forgotten her name. It's slipped my mind. But I'm sure
love
by the
your
end of the
Mumbi, we'll cut that. We'll cut that.
Yeah,
we'll cut that
yeah.
out. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's offensive. I just think it slipped my mind. I forget sometimes. But yeah, there's one I'm speaking to. She produces a lot of music for Yemi in Nigeria.
Okay.
And I actually met her. That's why it's very embarrassing. But I do enjoy her work so much. I really look forward to working with her. And there are a couple of songwriters that I really want to work with around now. I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to production, but I really want to see songwriters that I can work with, because I've been so selfish and kept or reserved with my songwriting process, where I don't want to involve other people. But every time I interact with people, I realize how much more I could do with a bigger team. So I'm just looking to expanding there.
Anything that's going to be changing or being tweaked with regards to your sound?
You know, my sound, I don't know what my sound is yet. I still haven't figured that out. I'm still trying to figure it out. But again, I was told not to figure it out. Then we can just have as much fun as possible. But you're definitely going to hear different things, because, you know, I introduced some trap into this album. So I want to introduce reggae into the next album. I just want to do whatever I want to do and try be as diverse as possible and try and learn as much as I can. Because, again, working with an orchestra, that was like a whole different experience. So can we go and find out how to work with street drummers, how to work with, you know, people from my home traditionally who only know how to sing a certain way. I really want to incorporate gazillion cultures in my music. Yeah. Also because I really don't know what my music sound is. I'd like to just see how influenced I can be. Yeah.
We're about to say
Moving.
goodbye
Your
to
music
our.
sound is moving.
Thank you.
We're about to say goodbye to our KTN audience,
Oh.
KTN News audience. So anything you want to leave them with while they're still with us?
Yeah, you know, the reason we artists are having a hard time getting out there is because we're not streaming our own music, we're not listening to our own music. So just do something small to be more involved with Kenyan content, even if it's just adding 3 songs to your playlist by Kenyan music, new Kenyan artists, maybe not the mainstream ones. It doesn't even have to be me. Just go out there and stream Kenyan music. That's it.
And if you're a female producer or a female artist in the industry, you just, you know, let us know you're there. Let Nikita know you're there.
I would love
you
to know. I
Just-
would really, really love to meet you if, I guess, you're a female producer who is really devoted to their work, because I also think I would push you.
No jokers.
No jokers.
No jokers.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, as we say goodbye to KTN News, I just want to say thank you, Nikita Kering. You're going to stay with us for a little bit more. Anita Ndero, we have the amazing Celine and Nancy from Ghetto Classics. Had you heard of Ghetto Classics
Yeah, of
before
course I
today?
have. Of course I have.
There's an orchestra waiting to perform
course
with
I have.
you
Of
at
course
some
I
point,
have.
looking up to 20. And they're smiling. I'm like, it's not a done deal. But it's down there. All right. Celine and Nancy, why don't you actually, Celine, hit us up with that X again, because we love that clarinet version. We want the guys on KTN News to be able to hear it again. I know I've put you like 2-3 times. Go ahead. When you were on BBC and you heard the orchestra perform, you know, for the first time as they were warming up, you know, waiting for you, what was that first initial thought?
go back to the dressing room and warm up your voice because you can't mess this up. That was it. That was it. I was like, it's too good. I can't be looking here like I haven't practiced. That's it. Yeah, I don't want to lie to you.
And one thing that I always ask
I love
artists,
how real you are.
yeah, one thing I always ask artists, and you've talked about the fact that we're not consuming enough of our content, but with regards to the quality of the content that we have going out and the advice you can give to help us improve on the quality of our content, what can you say to that?
Even before, okay, first of all, quality is expensive. We don't have I guess the best resources ever, and the only way we can come up and build up those resources is by getting paid, and unfortunately it first has to start with people really streaming our music, because that's the only way people will get the money. Of course there's people up the chain who are taking money that isn't theirs, and people are out here working hard, but the what are they called, the institutions that were put in place to pay artists, unfortunately, are not fair at all. They are cutting. Yeah, let me just say.
They're cutting funds.
Yeah.
But you mentioned getting paid, and one thing I'm really excited about is that this New Year's Eve, I'm going to be emceeing at the White Sands, the Sarova White Sands.
Oh.
Yes, resort and spa. And I heard that one of the main artists, in fact, the reason I said yes, because I was like, no, nataka kulala. Do you know how old I am? But they said Nikita Kering. They said one thing. They said Nikita Kering, and I was sold. Is it true? Are you going to be performing?
Yeah, man. I'm going to be performing at the Sarova White Sands Beach Resort and Spa on the 31st at night, so we can cross over the year together, and I'll be headlining that show.
Now I'm jelly. I'm going to be in Shags.
I'm going to be crossing over the new year at Sarova White Sands with Nikita Kering. Just had to say it again.
That is my cue to leave. Thank you, ladies. It's been fantastic.
Speaking of cue to leave, we're just about to say goodbye to our KTN audience. So I know that Celine has done a rendition of X, but I'm going to play it just one more time. Here it is. Hello, Direct. I'm Olivia Otieno with...
Oh, sorry. I was having a moment. The music was still sinking in. My name is Anita Nderu, co-hosting today with Olivia Otieno, with a beautiful, talented, incredible Nikita Kering in studio with us.
We've lost KTN News, but we're still live streaming. Homepage, standardmedia.co.ke. Now, just as the song was playing, we were talking about challenges in the industry, especially with regards to harassment and sexual harassment, that especially for women. I had Sanai Tande in the other day, and she was like, Olivia, you don't even know how bad it is. And recently I met Akote, and she reiterated the fact that it's terrible. Have you had any experience with that? It doesn't have to be sexual harassment, but harassment in general.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into talking about harassment, but I will definitely say that you're often, as a woman, put in a dilemma situation where you're like, so what do I have to do to get what it is that I want to? With guys, it's just, I pay you, you give me. But with women, it's always, okay, you're gonna pay me, but if you want me to continue doing it for you, you have to go the extra mile. So what I will say is that I'm glad that I've been able to find someone I'm comfortable enough to work with, and I've been consistent with him and never ever felt unsafe for anything. I would also definitely say that my family has been good in protecting me when I was much younger. Yeah, but it has never been an even playing field. I will tell you, it's a struggle. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
It always breaks my heart to hear that. And I mean, to your point,
Adita, we still have a microphone.
No, sorry.
I know you're feeling the feels, but
my mind wondered where my feelings were wandering, and it was just it's terribly sad to hear that the male species just has to pay for the service, but then we have to add, what else can you do for me in order for me to get the job done for you? And it's incredibly disgusting, and it's one of the reasons why I really do pray that we do have a more we do have more females in the industry to the point where now you're gonna be like, oh, okay, if you can't get the job done, there's plenty of women I can go to get the job done with. So
Yeah.
I don't need you to bring your sleazy behavior into my business.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing at all. And one of the things I want to find out is your music is available on which platforms?
On all streaming platforms. Yeah. Spotify, Apple, Boomplay, Tidal, whatever.
Which has been like, I don't know, the most successful, the most popular? Because I use now your music for all my reels. Yeah. All my reels on the one platform I use, Instagram.
She really loves you. No? Okay.
No,
My mom jokes are just not killing it today.
No, we're going into the top of the hour, but I'm hoping you have a few more minutes to spend with us, Nikita.
I do.
Fantastic. I told myself before you leave, I must ask Nikita Kering to say dirty word.
Oh my!
Dirty.
It's so funny you mentioned that because when the song was ending, it's one of my favorite parts of the song.
Yeah.
Is the song ending because of
Yeah.
how you say it.
And the beginning.
And
It's-
so then
yeah.
I'm just like, I'm like, okay, the song is ending. Okay, cool. So yeah, yes, do say it.
Yes, please.
It sounds very sultry.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Actually, I say it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I say mighty wine. Like mighty wine.
Oh, I hear dirty wine.
Even
It
they had
is
dirty-
mighty.
yeah?
So it's dun, 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 mighty wine. Dun, dun, mighty wine. Dirty, naughty wine.
That
That's
is
what I say.
it.
Yeah.
That is
Sis.
it, right? That is it.
Thank
That is
Made
it.
my day.
I'm telling you, 31st, Sarova White Sands Beach Resort and Spa. You will be with us in spirit, Anita.
It's one of those things where you know when you're like, I'm gonna watch your Insta stories because it's literally just gonna be one of those things where like I will live vicariously through you. I will just be freezing my butt off where I'll just be like, let me just warm myself up with these fantastic performances. But yeah, that sounds great, and I wish you the best
Thank
on the
you.
day. Enjoy performing, and I hope you get that thrill over
It
and over
is.
and over again when everybody's singing your lyrics back to you.
Yeah.
Ah.
Thank you.
It will be incredible. I wanted to find out why this is such a strong personal song for you, because you said it's one of your favorites.
Yeah, it's actually my favorite from the EP. Just one because I think I really worked hard on the melodies that I came up with for the song. And then also the song is talking about like depression. It's talking about just being overwhelmed with experiences in life. And I remember at the beginning of the interview, you were like, for my age, I'm talking about a lot of experiences and whatnot. But I think there's crazy things that happen to young people equally as much as they happen to older people. I just think younger people don't know how to process those emotions, and our brains are kind of wired to have this amazing refresh rate of being like, okay, I was just beaten yesterday by my mother, but now I'm her best friend, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like it's like that thing is like we were kind of wired to, we weren't holding grudges, or rather I wasn't holding grudges as a young person until you're older. Then you're like, oh my god, that was actually very sad what happened to me. And I think that lack of processing emotions kind of helps young people be a lot happier, and that's not really sharing deep songs, quote unquote. But I think being that I had to grow up so much faster being in the music industry, I kind of had to learn how to process a lot of those emotions earlier and put it in my music. So for me, Falling Down is like if you go through the lyrics, you'll realize like, man, that was a lot in that song. But I love my songs being kind of like, if you listen to it when you're just passing, you'll never know the depth of it until you sit down and you're like, oh my god, did she actually say that? So it's like, it's totally it's kind of like contradicting what it is as a song from how it sounds musically to what it means lyrically. Yeah.
I've discovered so many different layers
Yeah.
to your music.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't tire of putting it on repeat.
Yeah.
Because also as a distance runner, I'm out there running 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it gives me time to shut everything out and just focus on that. I feel like it's such a slow song. You're running. It's such a I'm like, It's not about being in sync with the music.
Yeah.
It's about being in sync with the emotion.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? So that is really powerful for me. But you'd mentioned earlier about wanting to transition and spend some time abroad. Tell me about that process, where you'd like to go and what you'd like to do while you're there.
I really, when I went to the UK, I mean, I had an awesome time there, and I think, I mean, the music industry definitely has a lot against it here in Kenya. However, one thing we don't realize is a huge barrier between us and the success as a whole industry is our professionalism. We are not professional as we should be. And when I went abroad, got to experience people keeping time, got to experience next level discipline. I was like, do you know, if this was going on in Kenya, we would have such amazing culture within us, like, of excellence, and that would help us definitely get closer to where our goals are. So I think I just want to put myself in a space where my potential can fully show, and I can use. I was talking about it last night with someone. It's like, if you bring Mayweather to a child's fight, what is Mayweather gonna do? It's like, why bring excellence in a place where it can't be used to its best potential? So I just want to be put in a space whereby my stresses are not, mbona huyu anachelewa?
Ako
Why is this
wapi?
ako wapi? Why isn't this here? Why isn't this here? My challenge is, what do I need to do to become a better singer?
Yes.
That's all I should be worrying about as an
Yes.
artist. Here, when I have a gig, and that's why I stopped doing gigs as much as I used to, there's just so many things I have to think about. Too many things. There's no proper teamwork where everyone is giving 100% into what they're doing, because each person is worried about something they shouldn't be worried about, something that's not in their job description, you know?
Yes.
Why should a producer be worried about the cables not being in place and this and this and this? So, yes, I don't know exactly where I do want to go 100%, but I want to be in a space where I can finally use my talent to its maximum and be 10 times better than I am right now, because I feel like I can't at the moment.
You've been 100% clear in what you're saying, because I've always told people success is about consistency, but you can't have that consistency without discipline.
Right.
And we have a lot of talent in this country. We have a lot of very good people with regards to their craft, but there is no consistency because there is no discipline.
Right.
And also, people don't see the bigger picture. People also don't see that I want to put on a good show
Yeah.
as the producer. I want to put on a good show as the director. I want to put on a good show as the lighting, as the sound. And it's not just about Nikita. It's about having pride in your work. And just too few people don't have that pride. They think, it's a Nikita Kering show. No, it's an everybody show who's involved in that production. And what you said about gigs is so true, because here you are as a shining gem in the darkness. And then you're thinking, now, why was the sound? Could people even hear me?
Imagine.
Mike,
Let me
inafanya?
tell you, the crazy thing is
Yeah.
that I had 2 rehearsals for that orchestra. And each rehearsal took us 15 minutes. So that means I literally spent a total of 30 minutes rehearsing for that gig. I swear to you, it will take me 30 hours to do the equivalent here.
Yeah.
Imagine the difference between 30 minutes and 30 hours. We would be so much farther if we did a bit better.
People say always talking about going abroad, but it's a fantastic experience. And I think somebody, if you have the opportunity, always take it. If only to know that whatever you're experiencing here is not the norm. Yeah, it's not the norm. People say, why are you always leaving the country? I'm like, just so I know that it's not the norm to experience X. It's not the norm to experience unprofessionalism. It's not the norm to experience abuse or neglect or, nepotism. It's not the norm.
Yeah.
A friend of mine asked me recently, they're like, oh, you came from the UK. I would love to go and work in the UK. I said, dude, don't. This thing of you come into the office, you hang your coat, you come into the office, you do piecemeal work, you come into the office, you give half measures, you will not survive. Folks there be working. People
really
get up
do.
at 6, they're out by 7, they're in the houses back at 7, 8 p.m. They're working, they're not doing side hustles. So please don't think you can export, something that is substandard and think you'll succeed there. Because unless you're willing to put in the work like Nikita Kering here, yeah.
I think for me, one of the things that usually troubles me about, and yes, there's very many ways in which, as an industry or as a country, we can improve. My thing is, will it be our generation they'll just decide to do something about it and change how we operate, or will it be the Gen Zs who are going to do it, but somebody has to do it?
No, we just have to bring it every time. We just have to bring it. We just have to say, no, okay, this is happening. And I'm so happy you said yes to this interview. I'm so happy you've said yes to that New Year's Eve performance, because every now and then we need to have pockets of excellence. I love to have voices like yours say that I went, I saw, and I was like, yo, yeah, we just need to do better. And we can. Mm-hmm. It's in discipline. I was asking about moving forward in 2023, and you're telling me there's so much that's coming up. Any trips already planned?
No.
Wow, except that Don Jazzy one.
Yeah, except the Don Jazzy one. Well, what I would say is that I don't just say yes to everything. We're working on our strategy right now.
Yes.
And then whatever we do from January going forward has to be in line with the strategy that we've created, not just saying yes to random things, whether or not it's big or small. We have to have a strategy and make sure that we're all, in line with that. So, for now, I don't have one specific trip planned. I have personal trips planned, but with regards to my work, I just have a lot of people that I'm speaking to right now, from Nigeria, from the UK, that we can work with and collaborate and finally create. I've never collaborated before, so I'm just trying to see people who have we're on the same line. Yeah.
Have you written music for other artists?
Man, no, I haven't, but I really want to. I want to, because there's a lot of times that I write music and I am like, I wouldn't sing that. I wouldn't sing it like that, but I really want to. I want to, but I just think here the channels for that are very weird, being that I know I'm not going to get compensation for what I've done here. So probably abroad, in places where that space has been formed, and then as I do succeed in that, now I can work on coming back here and seeing, can I create opportunities in that space? How can I build a space or a forum where people can get to be paid for their work? So yeah, those are just the challenges.
Time to meet Jordan Sparks at 94.4 SpiceFM. My name is Anita Deru, co-hosting on Double O Direct with the very lovely
Olivia Otieno. It's so exciting to have somebody co-host for me. I'm only working 1 day a week, and now I even have help doing that. I love it. Thank you, Anita.
You're welcome. It's the Christmas time, always happy to help. Always happy to be in your space as well. And in our space today is a phenomenal songstress that we both absolutely love, who's been kind enough to stay a little longer with us to just tell us a couple of things about what's happening in the music industry, her music, and just before you leave us, Miss Nikita Kering, tell us a little bit about what you would like us to know about you in parting and what to expect in the coming year.
What I'd like everyone to know about me is that my name is Nikita Kering.
Oh, do we say it wrong?
Everyone says Nikita Kering.
Oh, sorry. I even threw in the major accent, even with the Kering. Okay, Kering.
Yes, Nikita Kering.
Okay.
That's one. Number two is that I don't even know, like, what. I want to say fun things. I don't want to say boring things. I really, really love cooking. I really love cooking. That's like my therapy. I also found out that that's kind of like my love language. It's like when I really like someone, I really like to cook for them.
Can I have you on the overdressed cook sometime?
Yeah, man, just call me. I love to cook.
Fantastic. I will.
The last thing is that I'm not the most expressive person, like with my face. So a lot of people, when they see me, they're like, am I sumboing you? And I'm like, no, you're not sumboing me. I just don't, I'm not the most bubbly person, like what people expect. But and then also I'm shorter in person. That's it. A lot of people
and you have small hands and feet.
I have very small hands and feet.
How small is your foot?
3. Size 3.
Okay, there's something I'm gonna do. There's something I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna come across. Because I have massive hands, right?
Oh wow.
So pass me your right hand. Okay.
I have nails right now.
Yeah.
So wow.
So look at this.
Oh my
nails are
goodness.
helping me, like,
You have a
this.
whole what are these called? You have a whole thingy above
yeah,
Nikita's.
Like a knuckle.
And that's with the nails. It's a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want me to slap nobody.
Yeah, no Will Smith in here.
I
No
have
Will
tiny
Smith in
feet.
here.
I have tiny. The pointers help. But I have tiny feet. Oh yeah, I know. So like,
Lovely.
Are
Very
you a
cute
shoe
shoes.
person?
what? Am I a shoe person? Yes. I'm a shoe person completely.
So Christmas, we're gonna sort you out.
Please get me shoes. I love shoes.
Size
Yeah.
3.5. What are you
Size
even trying
No,
to-
she's 3. I'm 3.5.
Oh my god.
We're-
I'm a size 7.5.
Wow.
We're the very small shoes. Actually, getting shoes is normally very, very hard
Hard,
in
yeah.
our sizes because for the people who are our size, it sells out so fast.
So fast.
No,
yeah.
children's section.
Oh, whenever I'm buying sneakers, I go to the kids section.
Oh wow, yeah, I know that. And when I was leaving high school, I was still a size 2, so like now I'm like
What?
3. Yes, I did a lot of the children's section.
It might
thing.
grow just a little bigger because after I had a baby, I went
Yeah.
from 3.5 to 4.
Yeah, my mom told me the same thing.
Yeah.
I know
that
I'm
it
moving
gets
us
bigger.
back into the performance space, but
Yeah.
any spaces you've performed outside of Kenya, like in Africa, that are memorable?
I remember performing at the Afrima stage. That was also amazing. Where else? Germany. I've had my time in Germany. That was really, really cool. But I would say it's nothing like the BBC one.
Yes.
Honestly, I feel like if I'm truly highlighting moments that made so much sense to me and were very personal, is I would say that BBC thing. It's like it's a kind of situation where it's everything you dreamt of. The only thing you're worried about is how prepared you are. Like, I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't ready for that level of excellence. And so stepping into that space for me, I would say that's like the memorable one. It makes everything else look like peanuts. Yeah.
I've liked that you talked about excellence because earlier we were talking about mediocrity and how we've come as a society to accept it and sometimes even embrace mediocrity. So that going out every now and then is really important for you to remind yourself.
This is not the norm.
This is
Yeah.
Nikita Kering, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you in Double O
Thank you
Direct.
for accepting our
Thank
invitation.
you. Thank you so much.
On
I
the
had
last
an
show of
awesome
the year,
time.
this is great. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. You can both say goodbye in German because both of you speak German.
Auf
I'll
Wiedersehen.
be just saying, I was going to say that. I'll be just saying.
Baheri, horo. Those are the two that I can say, or au revoir.
Yes,
but
and Merry Christmas to everybody.
do you want to sing us out a Merry Christmas?
A Christmas song. Oh my God, what Christmas song? What's a good Christmas song?
There's a lady. There's a lady that I really like and appreciate. Her name is Joy. So if you wouldn't mind singing "Joy to the World," just the beginning of it.
Tell you, man, this is where lyrics disappear me.
just sing what you think she said. Because ultimately, it's one of those. It's like when you're
Like
trying
us,
to sing
dirty wine.
along. Yeah, we thought it was dirty wine.
Dirty
It was
wine.
mutty wine. What's mutty wine?
Mighty wine.
Mighty.
Mighty wine.
Mighty wine. A mighty wine is like
A wine that's mighty.
proper wine, like a damn wine, like
A
wine that can't be
Rothschild.
forgotten.
Okay.
A Rothschild.
Okay.
So wait, what song did you say?
Joy to the world.
I'm just gonna sing like two
lines?
lines in a very long way so that it makes it sound like I knew the song.
Can we get KTN back on this? Continue.
Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive our King. Let everyone, what is it?
Prepare. I can't sing at all.
him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing.